Welcome to my channel, The King Leeway. My name is King, and today I want to talk about 5 new updates with the EPIK program intake of 2022, and what's the reason why we're having these new updates around South Korea. So I wanted to talk about that and first give you the updates and what's the reasoning behind it. Okay, and before we start, please hit the like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for future videos. All right, so I'm going to be reading off of the K.A.E Consulting, which is one of the recruiters for the EPIK program. And for those that don't know what EPIK is, it's the English program in Korea. All right, so let's get to those 5 points. And here's point number 1, the update. So, prior to applying with the EPIK program, the online application, your criminal background check is required ahead of time. Yes, so they're not going to even look at your application unless you have some sort of proof that you are getting the criminal apostille or you have it. So for those that don't know what it looks like, I'll show you mine. Yes, here's my apostille degree. This is from the United States. So there's 2 things you have to do. First one, the white sheet, which I'm not going to show you, is my personal information, is the criminal background check from the U.S. Department of Justice. And of course, my criminal background check was 2/26/2021. So from that date on, it's only good for 6 months. So I'm in August 8th, so I have about 18 more days till this is no good. So I have this here for the criminal background check for the United States. So I would have to do a scan and then apply for EPIK. So that's one thing I would have to do. So this is the new requirement. You gotta have this prior before even applying. And another thing, you could do this much faster by using an FBI channel, and I'm speaking for the United States. So that would take maybe 2 weeks. Of course, mine took 3 months, but I had time on my hands. So I'm in a different boat than the new E2 teachers coming in, and you'll be coming on an E2 visa from those 7 countries. So that is what's required. And here they talk about the CBC, which is for the Canadians. So for you Canadians, you got to have a scanned copy of the CBC, or you're in the process. So showing proof of receipt, showing that you are processing the paperwork, so you could show that proof. And for the United States, same thing. You just go through the channelers, get that taken care of. So that's just talking for both US and Canada. I don't know about the other 5 English-speaking countries. It doesn't talk about that. So update number 2, and this I think applies to all 7 countries for the E2. Can you submit your diploma on time? And these are for undergrads. Say you're in your senior year and you're in your last semester, you're going to graduate in June or something. So they want to know that you can get some sort of proof that you are going to get your bachelor's degree. And for those that already have your bachelor's degree, that you're already a graduate, just FYI, this is my apostille degree, and the steps I had to take was a headache, but you could do it locally in your state. So for me, since I'm from Los Angeles, I had to go to Kinko's, get it notarized, the degree, so they'll make a copy of your bachelor's degree. You don't use your original. So this is my copy of my degree. Then the next thing they fill out is the little notary sheet. Say, yep, it's notarized, pay a fee. Then I got to go to my local court, which was, and I'm going to give you an example, in Van Nuys, California, which I'm in the San Fernando Valley. Had to get the notary for the notary. And then after that, I had to go to downtown LA to get the front piece of paper for the apostille. So you want to have it. I usually have like 2-3 copies just in case, because the reason I do that is because sometimes my owners might not give it back to me, or MOE won't give it back to me. So I usually carry extra copies around. So that is the apostille degree. But number 2 update is just regarding undergrads. If you already have it, doesn't pertain to you, but still get that thing apostilled right away. Get about 2 or 3 of them apostilled just in case. Number 3, this is dealing with the UK and Australia. So anybody with a UK and an Australian passport, go figure, you must submit a birth certificate. So when you apply, you can scan your birth certificate, right? You don't have to have it apostilled right away, but before you submit the final document, in case you get hired, you have to get your birth certificate apostilled. So that is for Australians and UK. I don't know about the other 3 countries like, South Africa, Ireland, and New Zealand. So I'm not sure about that because it doesn't say anything about those other 3 countries, if you guys were wondering. All right, number 4. Here's another new update. No longer first come, first serve, and I am gonna read their statement. So here's their statement from EPIK. We also wish to clarify that the program is not based on a first come, first serve policy. Applying early can be beneficial with help with the process, but is not the sole factor taken into consideration for the program. Factors that are considered beneficial and that could help boost an application includes holding a degree in education and teaching. Okay, I have an education degree. Having previous formal teaching experience, including talk counts, which is the 2-year program. If you have associate, that's a program here in Korea, but that's pretty much dwindling. And processing official government issued teaching qualifications. So if you have a teaching license, or you have a TEFL, TESO, SALTA, SALT, which majority of us do anyways, and certification with in-class component. So they wanted to hire someone with a flexible individual who is highly motivated to learn and adapt to a new culture. So I'm just going to stop there. So yeah, and that is point number 4. Now, the update number 5. Ooh, see, here's a telltale sign. Stronger penalties from withdrawing your application. So let me tell you the 2 penalties. Penalty number 1, if one chooses to withdraw the application. So you go through the interview process and you pass the interview and you said, nope, I'm not going to go, you're going to face a penalty of 2 intakes. So if you try to apply for the 2022 spring intake, you will not be able to come back or reply till 2023. So that's a 1-year penalty, 2 intakes. Point number 2, if one chooses to withdraw after receiving a recommendation from the Office of Education, they will face a reapplication penalty of 2 years. So that means 4 intakes, 2 years. So that means if you were recommended by the Office of Education, or pretty much I think if you got offered a contract and you turn your contract, there's a lot of variables because the wording's a little off. Yeah, you won't get to apply till 2024 if you're trying to apply for 2022. So that's what you're going to be dealing with. And of course, timing is very important. So this is under the Kovia Consulting. And I think another company that does the recruiting for EPIK is Horizon. And you can do it straight through EPIK yourself. So those are those 5 updates. And now, with these 5 updates, here's a telltale sign. By then, putting these updates up, the message you're sending is this: things are going to get much harder. They're going to get much pickier. And here's a reason. Here's one of the reasons why. Here's a number, 0.84. What is 0.84? 0.84 is the childbirth rate here in South Korea per mother. 0.84 is the average right now in 2021. 2018 it was 1.1. So the population in youth is in decline. So what does that mean? That means the EPIK program is slowly dissolving. Just like the JET program in Japan. It's dissolving. And if, say you don't want to work in EPIK, you want to work at an English academy called a Hagwon, that's going to be declining. So, yeah. So I would recommend, if you still want to teach English in Korea, we have maybe a 5 to 10 year window, and I'm nice by saying that. Apply early. Get here. Get your year or two experience, because the opportunities to teach English, it's starting to dwindle. The ship is sinking. And the joke is right now, some of my buddies are like, yo, it's time to jump ship and get into some other things. And here's another thing. The big news in China this week is they don't want to keep foreign teachers around for the ESL online classes. And I'm part of one of the companies I work online for, and it's going to be an S show, and they're going to be shutting down. A lot of these companies are shutting down, and of course, in Korea we call it hagwons. In China they call it training centers. They're shutting down slowly. And plus, with the Delta variant cases going on right now all over the world, especially in Asia, we're on level 4 restrictions here, which means that a lot of the schools, not some, a lot of the academies, even the public schools, are going to be on shutdown, on lockdown for a while. So a couple of my part-time jobs is on lockdown for a month of August, and if level 4 continues to September, I'm going to be sitting at home. So luckily, I'm doing other jobs at home. I have other opportunities that I'm working on, but it's going to become a serious S show. So I would recommend, before you come to Korea, bring extra money, work on another skill set, while you're here in Korea, because you could have a lot of downtime. If you do get a job with EPIK or hagwon, you could be sitting at home doing nothing. You could still go out and do things, but things close up now early because of the level 4 restrictions, and that is what's going on. And another thing, the news as of right now, even if you have been vaccinated in your home country, so for example, if I was vaccinated in the US and I was coming to Korea, I still have to do the 2-week quarantine as of today, because they did talk about if you're vaccinated, you could skip the quarantine, but as of today, it's August the 8th here, you still have to quarantine. So, but hopefully, if any of you watching this video, maybe a month, 2 months, maybe 6 months down the line, that requirement will change, where you could be vaccinated and you can come here and not quarantine. And I've already done the quarantine 2 times already, and it is not that fun to do. You got to have a lot to do. So I will stay busy and bring a lot of activity things to keep you busy here if you are going to go under that 2-week quarantine. So just FYI. And yes, another thing is, make the best of it. So it's not as easy as it used to be coming to Korea to teach English. And I've already saw this coming even in 15, where, jobs were dwindling, opportunities were dwindling. It is sinking right now. So, yeah. But other than that, for those that want to still come, I encourage you, apply and see what happens. I'm not saying it's completely dead yet, but it will be. The question is when. So, yeah. And another thing is, if you have questions, put them in the comments. You could even send me an email. I'll try my best to answer a few questions. I'll try my best to link this article to the Korea Consulting, and if there's any other information, I'll try to link it. But I felt like I need to do this video because of what's going on right now, and especially with the ESL industry going around in Asia. So it is getting tougher, more competitive, saturated. It's not as easy, and the grass is greener. The grass is not really that greener on the other side always, but it's based on the individual to decide if the grass is greener on the other side for you. So that's something each individual would have to decide. But one thing is, for those that do want to come to Korea, want to take a shot at this ESL thing here, I wish you the best of luck, and make the best of it. It's still a great experience if you can get it and do it. All right, if any of you enjoyed any of this content, please hit the like, subscribe, and hit that bell for future notifications. So everyone, wherever you are, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video.